I found my father's secret messages. I told him to come clean.
Secret message. Secret message.
Perfect. Grown up, I've, female 27, always had this perfect family life. A happy mother and father and 3 kids. Both my parents worked very hard and we all had a loving, stable upbringing. By the way, this comes from other, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, my father has always worked full-time and done overtime to help us get by. When my siblings and I were kids, my mother worked part-time and my father was still learning English, so he was working lower-paying jobs. This meant my mom took on all the domestic admin, from the mortgage to the cars, finances, pensions, everything. My dad learned English properly, got a higher-paying job, and me and my siblings grew up. My mom went back to working full-time, but my dad never learned to do any of the admin stuff. That's annoying. He also never cooks, cleans, or does anything around the house without being asked multiple times. My mother is amazing, and she has taken on the weight of the entire family herself. But as I've grown up, I've resented my dad more and more for not helping and supporting her with everything. For the past couple of months, I've been a little suspicious of my dad. It started when a colleague at work asked if he could give lifts to their daughter to work. He told us he's been giving them a lift, and it turns out it's a girl in her 20s. Let's call her Hannah. Uh-oh. My mom didn't like it and told him to think of what people would think if they saw him driving around with a young girl in his car. My parents are both in their 50s. They had a few arguments about this, and during this time, I snooped through my dad's work phone. I found Hannah, and it didn't seem hugely inappropriate apart from the fact that she was making him smoothies for breakfast. Guilty. What'd she put in those smoothies?
Those are illegal smoothies.
Unbelievable. It probably put protein powder in those smoothies.
Oh.
Eventually, I think he stopped giving her lifts because of what my mom said. I checked his phone a few times after that and found nothing. The last couple of weeks, I've been suspicious again because when going out for his daily walk at night, this is normal for him, he's been coming back in to get his work phone, saying he forgot it and needs to take it in case his personal phone runs out of battery. He's got 2 phones.
Ooh.
Suspicious. That was a red flag for me. I knew I had to check his phone again. OP is, you should just keep the phone at this point.
Right?
You're checking it so much. This weekend, I found his phone in the bathroom and I checked it. No messages from that girl, but there was a message from a woman. Let's call her Elena. The texts were definitely romantic and spicy related, but didn't indicate whether anything physical had happened or not.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Who's Elena?
Who is she?
I then saw he had been calling her late at night while on his walks during work hours and video calling. I was crushed. I knew what this was. I took photos of everything. I couldn't sleep that night and cried more than I have ever before. I'm still in shock now. I knew my mom needed to know, but didn't know how to approach anything. I needed to know if something physical had already happened. So I snooped again. I went into his recently deleted messages and found 2 conversations, one with Elena and one with Hannah. Turns out he's still giving her lifts to and from work. The messages seemed a little bit flirty and he was calling her pet names.
Ew.
No.
I don't want to see that.
No. Bad. But it wasn't anywhere near as bad as what I was about to read in Elena's conversation. All I will say is that it confirmed to me 100% that they have been seeing each other at least since August 2024 and that they have definitely had spicy sleep. It was absolutely horrible. I took photos of everything I found, and after hours of panicking, trying to figure out what to do, I decided to confront him. He acted as if he had no idea at first. Then when I said Elena's name and quoted some of the messages he sent her, he knew this was real. He said, "Let's go for a drive so your mother doesn't get nervous." That's ominous.
That is scary.
It's like the drive that Christopher Walken takes John Turturro on in Severance.
Oh, yeah.
Irving, and Bert.
Right.
Yeah.
Scary.
I was shaking so much, and as soon as we got in the car, I couldn't hold back. I shouted and screamed and cried and told him he's ruined everything. He kept saying they were just stupid messages. Nothing happened. I told him I'm not stupid and I know what those texts mean. And he just kept on denying having done anything more than send stupid texts, that they were jokes. For the record, there is no way I have misinterpreted those texts. They're very clear. I told him he's not the person I thought he was, and I feel like everything has been a lie. I said I've lost all respect for him, and I could tell that really hurt him. In that moment, I didn't care at all. I wasn't even thinking. I was just saying everything that came out. I was recording on my phone the whole time, though, because I knew I'd forget it later out of anger and sadness. I told him he has to tell my mom everything. He said, about the text? And I said, I don't know what the truth is. Just tell her the whole truth. He doesn't know I took photos of everything I found. He was very scared at this point, saying about how upset she's going to be and he has to think about our family. Oh, now you have to think about their family?
Yeah, you kind of already crossed that line, buddy.
Maybe you should have thought about your family before you cheated on your wife.
Maybe.
This made me even angrier. I told him he has one day to do it. Otherwise, I'm telling her. Oh, man. I spent the whole day at home yesterday waiting for him to tell her so I could be there afterward for my mom. He couldn't find the right time, he said. And I told him there would never be a right time to say something like this.
True.
He was quiet and daydreaming the whole day. My mom kept asking if he was okay and if he felt ill. I heard him say that he has a stomach ache and headache and just doesn't feel right. My poor mom made him herbal tea and took him upstairs so they could lie in bed and he could rest. Oh, no.
Like,
he doesn't deserve this woman.
This is the right time. I don't know what he was waiting for.
He's a coward. He's a coward.
He doesn't want to own up to his mistakes.
To be fair, he did look awful the whole day. I started feeling a bit guilty for being so hard on him, but then I reread the messages with Elena and all of my guilt was gone again. This was at 11 p.m. last night. I told him it was too late as my mom was going to bed, so I said he has to do it today after work, and if he doesn't, then I'm going to tell her. I just don't know if I really have been too hard on him or not. Who cares? He's a cheater.
Yeah.
I've never dealt with anything like this before, so I have no idea what to do. I just did what was natural to me because I knew this had to stop and my mom had to know. Am I the a-hole? And there are some comments and an update, but what say you?
I say no. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole at all.
Yeah. This is definitely like we've said, it's like if you're not hard on him like this, nothing's ever gonna come from it.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that you you said, hey, you need to tell mom and he still hasn't done it. You might need to be a little harder on him.
Yeah, not hard enough.
Yeah, because clearly he's not scared enough
by
your threats. So you need to either follow through and tell your mom or say really needle into him.
Exactly.
Comment 1 says, not the a-hole, but get up early and tell your mom yourself tomorrow. You can't keep giving him chances and he will do nothing. He's blown away and tells her you told him to come clean, but he's refused. That you've discovered he's cheating with both Elena and Hannah and that you have proof he's actually sleeping with Elena. That he keeps trying to lie and downplay it, but you've seen all his texts and the one he's deleted. That him being ill yesterday was him refusing to tell you and hoping I would betray you by keeping quiet. That it turns out he never stopped driving Hannah and he's admitted it, but you've far more proof with Elena. And that he phones her on long walks every night and during work, and it's also when they possibly meet up to have spicy sleep at night. And then basically just tell him everything that's going on. Hope he responds, I've considered this before I confronted my dad, but a friend told me it should be his responsibility to tell her, not mine. It should be, but if he doesn't, unfortunately it does fall to you.
Right.
So I told him he has to do it. I did say last night that if he doesn't do it today, then I'm telling her. I do think you're right about not giving him chances. I hate that he's even had this long, honestly. The only reason I'm giving him another chance is because my siblings were going up and down the stairs yesterday, so there wasn't any privacy. It'll be the same today though, so I'm gonna try and keep them upstairs while they're downstairs. Thank you so much for your reply. Comment 2. What is his plan? Is he gonna keep seeing her? Opie says, sorry, I forgot to mention, he told me yesterday that he deleted her contact and everything, and that when he goes back to work today, he was going to talk to her to say to never talk to him again. He said they started becoming friendly because they have the same first language, and she doesn't speak English very well, so we had to translate for her sometimes. He said he was stupid and joked around with her and someone else, but it was nothing more than that. So in his eyes, it started with needing to translate and escalated to other favors and jokes that got out of hand, but was never more than that. But we already know it was.
Yeah.
He's still lying.
Right. It's pretty safe to assume that something's happened when he's showing up at her place at night.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
also, like, OP says the text kind of confirmed that they had a physical relationship. And the
Yeah.
fact that he is still lying is just ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah. It's not that hard for jokes to not get out of hand.
Yeah.
You know?
Just stop joking like that, man.
Exactly.
That's how they know each other and how he started to translate for her. And there is an update.
Oh boy.
Let's dive right into
Let's
it
do it.
because I have the same advice.
Yeah, nothing's gonna change.
My dad called me around lunchtime and said he's really not doing good. He said he can't concentrate on anything and hasn't slept. I told him that's normal, and neither can I. I reiterated that it has to be today, and he said he's going to try and go out with her so it's away from my siblings. I said I can try to keep them upstairs and they can talk downstairs, or I can take them out somewhere. Probably take them out somewhere,
Yeah, that's a good idea.
given that there might be yelling.
Right.
I got home around 20 minutes ago. Dad's not home yet, but Mom is, and she's had the worst day. She starts a new job tomorrow and bought a laptop for it on the weekend. The laptop hasn't been working, so she spent the whole day on the phone with customer service and will have to return it and pick a new one up tomorrow. She said she's so stressed, and I'm so worried about what's to come. Update 2. It happened yesterday. Finally. I texted my dad saying Mom was going out to return the laptop so he could go with her. The place was like 10 minutes away. My dad came home and they went out and took over an hour. I texted my mom to ask if everything was okay, and she said yes. When they came home, they seemed okay. I hugged my mom and she cried. She said she's sad about the 3 messages my dad sent, but she'll get over them. She just wanted to see them and he's deleted them, so she can't.
Yeah.
3?
3.
Is he lying?
Yeah.
Again? Is he
Yep.
lying again?
Yeah, I mean, as soon as he said that, like, deleted the messages,
Yeah.
you could think that, or he could say that it's because he wants to end things, but part of it is so that he doesn't have to show her. for
Exactly. Exactly.
sure.
It's like, I don't want the proof.
Yep.
She said she just wanted to know if it had been more than messaging, although we promised it hadn't been. I told her I took photos of everything I found, so I would show her everything if she wanted to see it. She said yes. So I said to my dad, "You told Mom the whole truth, didn't you?" He said yes. I said, "Okay, because I took photos of everything and I'm going to show her now, so there'll be no surprises, will there?" He said no. We went upstairs and my dad went out for a walk. The thing is, my dad didn't know I had taken photos of everything, and he doesn't know that deleted messages go to the recycle bin and stay for 30 days. So he has no idea I knew about all of those. First of all, I showed my mom the messages with Hannah that had been deleted. She was in shock. She said he's a liar and she couldn't understand why. I told her it doesn't seem like anything was going on with Hannah, but he was definitely being flirtatious and she was so angry. I also showed her a few one-off messages I found with other people from work. Oh my God. So not just Hannah, not just Elena, but like other people, multiple people at work.
Because he did say, like, he started talking to her and someone else about inappropriate jokes and stuff.
Then I showed her the first 3 messages with Elena. Those were the ones my dad had forgotten to delete. So I saw those first, and that's what made me keep digging to find everything else which had been deleted. That's all my dad thought I had seen, and that's all he had confessed to my mom. Just with those, she was already disgusted. Then I prepared her for what she was about to see. I checked multiple times that she definitely wanted to see everything, and I told her she wouldn't be able to unsee them after, but she was sure. When she saw the extent of the messages, she was so upset, angry, everything at once. I showed her the dates and times he was messaging her and how it's usually when he goes out for walks. I showed her the times he had called her and video called her, and she wanted to know when the first ever call or message was sent. I showed her August 2024 and told her I don't think that would have been the first thing, as it was a video call. She couldn't believe it. She kept saying, almost a year. He's been lying for almost a year.
Aww.
At this point, she knew everything I knew, and we heard my dad come home. He came upstairs, and my mom straight away confronted him and called him a liar and a cheat. Again, he denied it, and my mom took my phone out of my hand and showed it to him. His face didn't change, but he was staring at my mom. He was completely frozen and then said, "It's not what it looks like." What does it look like?
I don't buy it.
What does it look like, buddy?
Yeah.
What do you mean it's not what it looks like?
Right.
Then my mom read through the messages out loud, and he was just staring. He had tears in his eyes. My mom asked him when they had spicy sleep and where, and he kept saying they hadn't over and over again. Then my dad asked if they could speak alone, and I left. I went downstairs where my sisters were panicking because they had overheard parts of the fight and were very scared about what was going on. I didn't tell them because I said my mom has to say it. They were angry at me, but I told them I can't betray mom. While I was downstairs, my dad told my mom everything. Later on, my mom told me that as my dad works with Elena, apparently they have opposing shifts, meaning that when he's at work, she's at home and she lives very close to where they work.
Oh no.
Dang. He has been leaving work during the day to go to her house and have spicy sleep.
Oh,
This man stinks.
yeah.
Just the extent of the betrayal is
Yeah.
bottomless.
Yeah, and
Wow.
like he still lied more about like
Still
how it
lied.
started then too, because
Yeah.
how it started, honestly, like it sounded innocent at first with just the talking,
Yeah.
and like that stuff, but obviously, you know, not innocent going into cheating. But if they have opposing shifts, how are they talking at work so much?
Exactly.
You know?
She was absolutely devastated, and she said that she can say with 100% certainty that in almost 30 years they've been married, that she has never done anything inappropriate with another person. I feel so bad for my mom. The hardest thing is that my whole life, my mom has always said that the most important thing to her is the family unit and having everyone together. Her parents
Wow.
divorced when she was a teenager because of my grandfather's infidelity to my grandmother. No!
Stop it.
No! That's tragic.
Oh man.
Tragic. And my mom has always said it was the worst thing that ever happened to her. She was never told the extent of the infidelity, and as a result of growing up without her father for most of her teenage years, and my grandmother refusing to ever speak badly of him to her children, she grew up idolizing him, which all came crashing
Ugh.
down when she became an adult and realized what he actually was like and how he treated my grandmother. This has been very traumatic for my mom, and she's never really gotten over it. And now she's got to relive that trauma with her own husband.
Yeah, because I mean, so many people like, excuse me, so many people like who have divorced parents are always scared that that's gonna happen to them, and so the fact that this is happening in the same
Yeah.
exact way is like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if they're gonna get divorced yet, but like you can assume.
Can assume.
Gosh.
At Christmas, she told me that because of everything that happened with her parents, she became obsessed with having the perfect family unit
Oh.
and always craved it.
Oh.
She said that this craving is what has turned her into the woman that accepts anything her husband does because the most important thing is that she keeps the family together.
Oh wow.
I told her yesterday that this stuck in my mind, and since finding this out, I couldn't stop thinking about that. I told her that she needs to take time for herself and decide what she really wants, and that this is a completely valid reason to separate if she wants to. She said she needs to think. I asked my mom if I did the right thing by forcing my dad to tell her, and she said yes and thanked me for it. She said she's so glad she found out and that she knows the extent of it. She said it would have been much worse if she'd believed that it was just those 3 messages and then later found out it was more than that and she'd believed him. But you can believe us that we have full episodes of stories just like this if you go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Wow.
You gotta believe it.
Gotta believe it.
But there is a little bit left to this story. Man, oh man,
It's
wow.
heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking. I mean, just having to relive this is
Yeah.
crazy.
Probably her biggest fear
Yeah.
coming true.
Yeah. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Whew.
Hopefully she doesn't just push through this to have the family unit, you know.
It seems like she kind of knows herself a little bit better now and
Yeah.
is realizing, why she put up with behavior like this.
Right.
So hopefully she realizes, oh, I shouldn't continue to put up with behavior like this.
Right,
And I should
right.
leave this relationship that clearly isn't working.
Exactly. And there's still ways to be a family. Like, it doesn't mean
Yeah.
the whole family is broken up or anything, Like, obviously this is going to be a tough time and going to take a lot of time to, move on from. But you could still have a good family unit, just maybe not in the way you expected.
Yeah, just in a non-traditional sense.
Right.
But there is a little bit left to this story. Thank you everyone for your help and support with this. For my own sanity, it really helped me to hear other people's opinions while I was dealing with this, basically on my own. Although it has been an absolutely horrible 48 hours, now that it's out in the open, it does feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. I'm finally out of this personal heck I've been in. My poor mom and sisters are at the first stages of dealing with this, but now I can help them as much as possible because I'm a few days ahead of them in this process. Thank you, everyone. And that is the end of that story.
Wow.
Youch.
Yikes, dude.
I mean, good on OP again for kind of having to take all of this on and taking it on with a lot of grace and immediately making sure that their mother found out.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Good for not keeping the secret too.
Very good. Yeah, I think it's just about now. It's about, being there as a support system for your mom.
Right.
But also, making sure that you're kind to yourself because this also affected you.
Right.
This is your family and your dad who has betrayed not only your mom, but also you and your sibling.
Yeah. Tough, man.
Tough. But that is the end of that story. So we're going to jump into the next one.
Okay.